Drop it in the water, let the daughter find an image with the rest. She'll be learning how to.
Hi, my name is Barry Peace Fegalo, the Walking Talking Miracle. Today I'll be taking you on a journey, one of laughter, trials, pain, and triumph. When I say triumph, I'm referring to the evidence power of Jesus Christ that has been seen in my life for the past few months. On the 28th of March 2025, I was involved in an accident on my way back from my PPA, an accident that almost took my life. A little backstory: I was posted to Bauchi camp. I stayed there for 3 weeks and relocated to Abuja. I struggled for a while finding a PPA and I finally got one. That's Rema. A few weeks into my service here, everything was going on well. I made friends, I grew intellectually. I dare to say I even made a family. Everything was going on well until the 28th of March 2025, when the devil came in his vices to do what he knows best: to steal, kill, and destroy. I really can't remember everything that happened during the incident. Based on the accounts I was given, on that said day, I was on my way back from an event at about 6 p.m. This was an event at my workplace. So what first seemed as a robbery attack on the roadside in the heart of Abuja turned into a violent attack that left me fighting for my life at the hospital. The people that attacked me hit my head. They admitted me to hospital to do a brain scan to check if everything was okay. They had to cut out some of my hair to do a stitch first of all. So there's a part of my hair that's cut out. Even though my eye also, they had stitched it. My hand was paralyzed at a point. So I had a left paralysis. My legs had some stitch. I had a neck collar, and that's to keep my neck balanced per se, because it was a fracture to it back then. There was no internal bleeding, no internal fracture on my skull.
Did they tell you that the doctor said you're one of the fastest recovering?
Yeah, my said it was 100%. Even when I was unconscious, God kept doing things that defined the doctor's opinion, because when they had used the axe to cut my head, I became so unconscious. So the doctors prohibited me from standing for 6 weeks, and by the 4th week I was already walking. I had given some other prohibitions. The physiotherapists were scared of defying the doctor's rules. For physiotherapy, I was told that I would need to go through speech therapy again, learning how to talk well. I would need to go to a rehabilitation center so I can learn to relate with people again. There are some basic things that I was told that I would need to learn, like numbers, alphabets, but they all just came back. The physiotherapist said I couldn't stand because of everything I had gone through and the pelvic fracture. I think there were 3 scans. By the 2nd scan, the pelvic was already fixing itself gradually. My 3rd scan was fixed. My hand had some serious issues. I mentioned it, like the paralysis happened to the left side of my body, but in no time I was already walking well. I remember being told that I might have to use like walking aid. Someone suggested a walking aid back then, but I was already walking well with everything. I randomly stood up on one of the days and pulled off the oxygen mask. So I think everything, I just pulled them off gradually. It was something physiotherapists were using on my body back then to check my bones. When it was done, when the timer had stopped, I just pulled it off because it seemed like they were distracted. I randomly stood up one of the days and pulled off my neck collar. I wanted to see myself that day. I pulled off my neck collar, pulled off the oxygen mask, and I just moved on. My mom was late to allow me to just be, and thankfully she did, because everything, I felt so uncomfortable in these things around me.
You felt so uncomfortable because of the things around you. Why?
Because I had stayed there for longer. I had pulled off all these things because I was just tired of staying on the bed, because I had been on the bed for a very long time. Those 40 days were the longest 40 days of my life, and I just needed to just get out of there. But I'm grateful. I felt that God was just taking off these things gradually. So as the days went by, I just had to like take off the things that he was taking off, even though they said it was against the doctor's rules. But my orthopedic doctors couldn't believe their eyes, so they sent me to Bayes University Hospital for an MRI scan on my pelvis to confirm that my pelvic has already healed and everything was already set itself. The doctors didn't believe initially that I would actually recognize anyone. So I mentioned earlier that they had said I would need to do speech therapy. I remember the day, I don't remember, I was told. The day that I said I could remember my mom. They asked my mom, are you sure she would remember you? I was like, yes. So when I said I remembered her, that was so. And I could see my colleagues, I could see my friends, I could see my family members and everyone else and recognize and remember them with their names also. God healed me physically, mentally, and otherwise. When I say physically now, I meet people randomly. They ask me, they're like, is this the girl that was attacked back then? Because looking at everything now, it doesn't show a sign of what had happened. I remember earlier on, I was bandaged. So my head, everything around me was bandaged. My neck, I wore a neck collar, my leg was bandaged. Through it all, God made everything to work out. He turned what the enemy meant for evil for my good, and he showed himself so faithful. It took a while for me to come out here and share my testimony, not because of self-pity, because I know that it's time and someone watching this is going to be stirred up in their faith. They're going to be blessed. They're going to be encouraged that whatsoever it is they're going through, God can always come up to show himself faithful in it. So the following videos are going to be what was happening before the accident, during the accident.
Jesus is holding your hand. Yeah?
We love you. We're praying for you.
My name is Peace, and if you want to see a miracle, look at me. I'm a living, walking miracle. Jesus changes everything. He does changes everything.
I just want to say a very big thank you to God, my family, doctors, my physiotherapists, the Deeper Life Campus Fellowship Church, Base University, Rema, that's my PP, the executives, the team members, my friends, my colleagues, and everyone else that was one way or the other involved in this whole story, even if it's prayer or financially. God bless. So to my viewers, thank you for getting to this point. I'll leave you with this statement: Jesus changes everything.